Monica, also known as Miss Astrology. It's Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini. I absolutely love the sign. Of course I would. It's my sister's sign because I am a Sagittarius. It's also my rising, so it makes sense. I also like that Gemini is preparing us for summer, and summer is my favorite time of year. I love the warmth. I love the heat. I love the bright sunshine. So I just want to give you guys some insight onto what you can expect in Gemini season. This isn't just a regular Gemini season. It's going to be pretty busy considering this Gemini season. We do have both eclipses. It's eclipse season. The portals, the energy is starting to penetrate and can be felt around us. I think we're all looking for change. We're really looking to get away from and bring some endings to just old ways of thinking, old belief systems, and just kind of, the old stagnant way. And we're still trying to figure it out. And we'll get more of those boosts as eclipse season comes. So that's really one thing that we can expect during Gemini season. Also, it's retrograde time. Mercury will retrograde at home in Gemini this time. So last Mercury retrograde was in Pisces season, I believe. So now that we're in Gemini season, Mercury is at home here. So we're really going to be like, yeah, give me the info, give me the scoop, talk to me, let me know what's going on. But Mercury retrogrades, and I always say when Mercury is retrograde, this is the time for us to think about what we've been thinking about. So I'll get into that a little bit more. But then also Saturn is going to retrograde in Gemini season. Jupiter is going to retrograde in Gemini season. Mars will move from Cancer to Leo during Gemini season. So there is a lot that's going on during this time. And then we really want to be mindful of it. So let's just jump right in. I do want to say this before I get started. You guys know that I have to say this. I'm super excited about the Cosmically LIT Collective. So I have to invite you to join. We are a collective of people that meet live every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time. So that's 7 p.m. Central Time. I lead the discussion. I give a week ahead forecast, a general forecast. Then I give a week ahead forecast specific for all 12 signs. I pull a tarot card for all the signs. This takes about our first hour. Then from there, I give what's called an astro mini lesson. And this Sunday, we're actually going to talk about retrogrades and Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde, and really how to take advantage of the energy of a retrograde. They are really meant for our benefit, but we have to know that. We have to be open to that. We have to flow with that. So that's the kind of stuff that we discuss during the collective, our Sunday sessions, the Cosmically LIT Collective. And then for the last 20 minutes or so, I open the floor. You can ask any question. Your specific birth chart, you can maybe get more clarity on something I said for the week ahead. You can maybe share a story or a testimony. You can maybe get a better understanding for the Astro Mini lesson. It's just really good stuff. We also join together for every new moon and every full moon to work on manifesting. So I'm super excited to hear what the collective has manifested since our new moon and Taurus ceremony, and to really get with everybody and collaborate with everybody for the full moon, this Sagittarius eclipse. So super excited. Also, if you want to join us for the moon manifesting and lead it with me, this is somewhere where I do like to invite other creators, creatives in the energy work in. So just DM me, hit me up. So, okay, cosmicallylit.com, or there's a link, however you're watching this video, if you want to join the Cosmically LIT Collective and just interact more one-on-one with me and the group. So, okay, Gemini season is from May 20th until June 20th. Gemini is an air sign and it's mutable. So this is a very mover and a shaker. This is a restless sign. Because it's an air sign, this is considered a masculine energy, which when we talk about in the astrology masculine and feminine, we're not talking about girl boy. We're talking about outward expression and inward expression. So Gemini is very outward. It wants to get going. It doesn't want to be at home. It doesn't want to be quiet. It doesn't want to really, it wants to go. And so we will find ourselves, specifically those with strong air and Gemini placements, wanting to go, wanting to do, wanting to chat, very curious, very social, really trying to get information, get the scoop, talk to people. And this is fun. This is preparing us for summer. You may find yourself talking to family about the plans for the summer, talking to neighbors, maybe, planning your cookouts and your backyard things, those kind of things. This is very Gemini energy, because Gemini takes us from this kind of social chatty with our siblings and our neighbors to really connecting with our family once we get to Cancer energy. So yeah, start planning those things, start talking about those things. This is really good energy for that. With Venus and Mercury also in Gemini, this is just a good time to talk and be social. This is a good time to get valuable information as well, because Venus is going to bring something valuable. It could be relationship wise. There's a little asterisk right there, relationship wise. But it could have something to do with money as well. And there's a little bit of an asterisk there as well. And I'll talk about the asterisk in just a second. So there could be some good things that relationship wise with our friends. But this is just good energy to socialize and to chat and to communicate, to research. Gemini's key word is I think. So it's like, think. Expand your mind. Let your mind explore and be social. Okay, now let's get back to the star. The little asterisk that I put right there, right? When I say this could be a good time to talk about relationships, and maybe you're feeling like, ooh, I think I want a relationship. Like, okay, that sounds fun. Well, here's the thing about that. Gemini and Venus in Gemini is not a good aspect or a good transit for relationships. And when I say relationships, I mean committed, intimate, romantic relationships. This is a good time to socialize and partner up in that aspect, with maybe for these little one-off projects, maybe for these little temporary things, but this is not the energy to commit to anything long-term. Gemini is not a long-term sign. It's mutable air. Like, think about trying to catch the air, right? You guys, like trying to harness the air. Like, good luck with that. And that's the same kind of mentality to trying to get a Gemini to fully commit to something long-term. So I also would say the little asterisk that was about the money as well. This is not about putting yourself in some kind of long-term debt. This is about, if you are investing, maybe you invest something that you don't have to pay back on a monthly basis. Maybe you invest in something that moves a lot. And I am currently thinking about my crypto profile and how it is just jumping all over the place. It's kind of exciting, but what I'm realizing is, because Gemini is my ascendant, is that this is a lot of energy for me to take in, which leads me to what you really need to be mindful of now that we are in Gemini season. We have Mercury here, we have Venus here, the North Node. But on top of that, we also have Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces is mutable water. So when another sign is mutable, this means it's going to make a pretty strong aspect to the other mutable signs. So Jupiter in Pisces is making a pretty strong aspect to all the personal planets that are in Gemini. Now here's the thing. Jupiter in Pisces actually has more power, more influence, a stronger energy. And this is because Jupiter is a slower moving planet. So it'll affect us on with a stronger influence, with a stronger flow. And it's affects, because it's a social planet, more of the collective at once. The personal planets, the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, they move very quickly. So these social planets will affect us more individually than they will affect a collective overall. But Jupiter and Saturn are social planets. So anybody who was born the same year as you has the same Jupiter as you. Anybody born within the same 2 to 2.5 years has the same Saturn placement as you. And so this means that Jupiter actually has more influence on the personal planets that are transiting Gemini right now. So you got to look then to, okay, how is Jupiter going to affect all of this Gemini energy? Because this is a square. This is strong energy that we're getting from Jupiter. Well, first you want to know about Jupiter. Jupiter is expansion, it's abundance, it's luck, it's opportunity, it's faith, it's optimism, it's religion, it's exaggeration, it's waste. It's a lot. And too much of anything is not a good thing. Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. So traditionally, before the outer planets were recognized, Jupiter was assigned to rule Pisces. And this is because Jupiter is a planet of belief, just like Pisces is a sign of belief. So it really makes sense. But Pisces is the dreamer, so their beliefs come more from their dreams, more from their imagination, more from magic, more from mystery. And so when you think about Jupiter making its way through Pisces and then affecting Gemini, first you have to know that there's going to be an abundance of imagination, an abundance of in our belief systems. And because it's Jupiter and it's a planet that tends to bless us, this is actually saying where we should focus our energy. This is actually showing us where we should focus on. We should focus on our beliefs. We should expand our beliefs. We should put more energy into feeling lucky and being optimistic that our beliefs, our faith, that even though it feels delusional, even though it feels like it's going to have to take magic to make it happen, Jupiter is saying if you can really harness your beliefs, if you can really cultivate your belief in magic and for your empathy and your compassion and even your ability to heal. Pisces is a very healing sign, whether it be healing your body, healing your mind, healing your relationships, healing your finances. Jupiter in Pisces is willing to do this right now. The issue is because we're getting this Jupiter placement so square and strong to Gemini, we have to make sure that we don't look for too much information, too many facts, too much I know. Gemini's keyword is I know. So we need to make sure that we're not looking to know too much, that we're really leaning more on our beliefs. We don't need knowledge. Oftentimes you need faith. You need work ethic, right? And right now, Mars is in Cancer. And so this is saying you need to nurture yourself and then take that energy. And as Mars goes into Leo, use that creative energy or use that nurturing energy now to open up expressive energy and creative energy. That's Mars in Leo. And so this Leo energy, it makes a sextile to Gemini. It doesn't make the best aspect to to the Pisces energy, but that's okay. Jupiter's involved. This could still be really good. And so this is really, and then Jupiter's only going to be here for a couple of months, so we're really going to get a glimpse into what our faith can do for us, what our magic, what our belief in magic can do for us. We're going to get a glimpse into how we can heal, how we can really become our higher self. Neptune is also in Pisces. With Neptune being in Pisces, Neptune is the sign of higher self, higher consciousness, your belief in, I always talk about higher self. I read these books that talk about your higher self, your higher consciousness. This is very Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. These planets really want to bring us up to in our higher selves, whether it be through healing us, through allowing us to really operate more in our creative abilities, whether it be in bringing some endings to things, because Pisces is still the sign of endings. And so maybe some things need to end. Maybe some things need to be cut off. We do have a full moon coming up. Full moons bring endings as well. And the full moon is in Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this is more Sagittarius energy. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But honestly, if y'all want to talk about the solar eclipse, you should join the collective. It's going to be really good. This solar eclipse is exact to my moon and my sun, and pretty close to my sun. So I'm really excited to lead this up. This is really good energy, you guys. All we got to do is really tap in. We just need to be mindful. And see, that's what Gemini is. Gemini is a very mindful sign. We just need to be mindful of what are we thinking about. The Judgment card shows up at the bottom of the deck. And this is like, yeah, maybe it's a time that we need to be judging what we're thinking about. Mercury's getting ready to go direct. Are our thoughts lifting us up? When you look at this at the bottom, these people are all kind of praising this angel, right? And so to me, it's like, are our thoughts lifting us up to higher consciousness, to a higher level of elevation, to our higher selves? What are we thinking about? Because ultimately, when it comes down to it, these thoughts down here, to me in this reading at this time, these are representing thoughts. and they're representing our thoughts lifting us up in the spiritual way. And then even in the red, in the tarot can represent material gain, material wealth. Spiritual wealth is represented by the white. Spiritual gain, spiritual access. So making sure our thoughts, even making sure the people around us, making sure what we're listening to is elevating us to that higher place. I believe that's what the Judgment card is saying. And I do also think that the Judgment card is asking us to judge our thoughts and judge the information that's around us. And are we thinking about it too much? We don't need to think about this thing so much. Not right now. We'll get the opportunity to think about what we're thinking about once Mercury goes retrograde, once Aquarius goes back into Pisces. And here's the other thing. How dare I almost forget this? Saturn is in Aquarius. Okay? Aquarius is another air sign. And so this is making positive energy into Gemini. And it's positive energy, but it's Saturn. And while I love Saturn, his energy is actually very strict, very stern. It's positive after you've done the work. And so with Saturn being an Aquarius, making a positive aspect to Gemini, Aquarius being the sign of humanity for the collective. I always call it the sign of gains. And the other thing about Aquarius, this is a sign that also has hopes and beliefs for humanity, really is futuristic, is really looking to the future of humanity, the future of our independence, of really wanting to bring revolutionary, forward-thinking energy and ideas. It's an air sign, so it's still into ideas, it's still into thinking, it's still into logic. And this is also what Saturn in Aquarius is asking us to be disciplined about. Like, listen, I don't need all the information right now, okay? I know that I'm connected with a good group of people. Maybe I need to make sure that I'm connected with the right group of people because Saturn is actually in Aquarius. So maybe this is where you're learning some limits. And Saturn is about to go retrograde. So you might find yourself re-examining these friendships, re-examining your limits within these friendships, your boundaries. Are you actually learning? Are you actually maturing within these social groups? And again, with all this Gemini energy that loves to talk, you could tell it's on my ascendant right now. I'm just chatting it up, right? With all this Gemini energy that loves to talk, it's important for you, I think, to be quiet in your friend groups, in your social groups, in these social atmospheres, and really examine, really take in what you're hearing right now. The Five of Wands jumped out, and the Five of Wands says there's confusion. Like, everybody's saying this, you're getting it from this way, you're getting it from that way. Y'all see that? There's confusion. You need a minute to be quiet, to sort out your thoughts, to sort out your thinking. Wands are fire signs, so this is really about, maybe you're looking for the passion, the excitement, but this could cause confusion if you're being too much about the passion, too much about the excitement. Maybe your friends, they're, revving you up for excitement, revving you up to, go and be sarcastic, have a whole lot to say, but this is just going to bring confusion. This is going to bring a sense of disorganization, dis-ease, if you will. So I think, ironing some things out. This is the perfect energy for Mercury going retrograde, which does happen on the 29th. I love that Temperance jumped out. She's super appropriate for this reading, right? My cards are jumping today. Usually I get to pull a couple. I pull Judgment, but the Five of Wands and Temperance jumped out. It makes sense. Gemini is kind of a jumpy sign. Temperance is saying we got to balance it all. With that Jupiter and Pisces energy, it's like, let your faith pour into this thing. She's pouring the water back and forth. She's tempering. We're going to find ourselves healing. This also kind of represents healing the red as well as wealth and material gain. But we got to balance it all. One foot practical on the ground, but really leaning into spirituality. If you look, she's more leaning into the water, which is the spiritual element that represents, more leaning into spirituality, leaning into our intuition, leaning into our empathy, and just our inner knowing, our gut knowing. I think that's what Temperance is representing. Knowing also with the sun coming up in the background, everything is going to be fine. The sun will shine tomorrow. There's still abundance all around her. And if you also look, there's a path right here. The path will be revealed. It will show up. We don't need to know all the information. We need to pour into our faith. We need to let our faith pour into us. We don't really need all the knowledge that we think that we need or all the info that we think that we need. We just need enough to get us going, to get us excited. That's what the Five of Wands, I think, is saying too. Just get enough information to get excited, and then you can really re-examine it and think about it even more as Mercury goes retrograde. But it's definitely something you're going to have to put your faith behind, or we're going to have to put our faith behind, and that's what Temperance is showing as well. Thank you, High Priestess, for showing up. This is my card. You guys know I love this card. And this card represents that our inner knowing is guiding us. Our inner knowing is here for us. We have all the knowledge that we need on the inside. What I love about this High Priestess, first of all, she's sexy, right? With them boots. The moon here represents just that intuition, that inner knowing. And then also this laptop in her lap really shows that she does have access to all the information, whatever it is that she needs. How many of us know that all the answers are in our internet, right? Or in our computer, in our phone. So she really does have all the information, but it's really about deciphering it with this black pillar and this white pillar, and really knowing where we're going right now, knowing that this spread actually pulled 3 major arcana cards, but knowing that it's really about balancing and tempering right now. Ultimately, we keep ourselves balanced by knowing that everything is going to reveal itself. Everything is going to work out fine. We have all the inner knowing. We have all the information. We have all the access. Even if it doesn't seem like it right now, this will be revealed to us. This will come to us. We need not stress about it. We need not let anxiety creep in. Just pray. I will also say this. Gemini can be an extremely restless sign, anxiety filled. So really tapping into breath work, yoga. Anybody that knows me, I'm a huge fan of yoga, but this is because it's teaching you to connect your breath with your body. And this is something that in this moment and during this next, this transit, that would be really good for Geminis or even mutable placements. So that's Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. And this is your sun, moon, rising. This is also going to be your Mercury and your Venus in any of those placements, because these planets are all involved right now. The sun, the moon is going to join Jupiter, come to Gemini. The moon just is always involved because it's really this part that stays with us and ebbs and flows so much with us. So anxiety can really be at an all-time high with this Jupiter and Pisces placement. This is going to be really good to make sure the music that you're listening to is very soothing, very relaxing. Maybe some artistic endeavors will be fun. Breath work would be really good. Also, blue lace agate. I have to grab the stone. Hold on, guys, real quick. I have one. And I'm not editing that out. Okay, so I have a blue lace agate. And this stone, I reference it's a Love by Luna, the Crystal Zodiac book, Love by Luna. And she references blue lace agate. And that this stone is very good for calming the mind, calming the nerves, and breath work. Because Gemini rules the brain, it rules the lungs as well. It also rules the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. So this is also going to be a good time to get maybe shoulder and arm massages, to practice breath work. Also, the recommendation is to use the blue lace agate in replace of your nighttime scroll on social media, specifically Gemini and air placements, or again, the mutable energies. This is because I think what a lot of Gemini does not recognize is that all of this energy or information is an information overload for you guys. You rule the brain. You're constantly trying to decipher and process the information. And that is just anxiety driven. That is just a for sure way to stress yourself out. So the recommendation for using the blue lace agate is to put it next to your cell phone or even on your cell phone. And when you go to reach for your cell phone in the evening, instead of doing that, you grab the stone instead, Practice some deep breaths, really seeing on your deep breaths that they are connecting with, you're seeing your breath, connecting with you and calming your brain, calming your nerves. Also, Gemini represents the throat chakra. So maybe calming your throat, calming your voice, releasing your voice. I feel like it's more of a calming, the need to talk so much in Gemini energy. So that feels very important as well to talk about. So, okay. I think that's it. We'll talk more about the solar eclipse as it comes up. I highly suggest that you guys join the Cosmically LIT Collective. We already talked about Gemini season this past Sunday. The collective is prepared for this, and they got even more insight. They were able to ask questions instead of just watching a video. So, oh, I did want to say this. Geminis and feeling anxiety. Also, today the moon is in Virgo, okay? As we go into Virgo season, as we go into Gemini season, the moon is actually in Virgo, which is also a Mercury ruled sign. Mercury is in Gemini. So yeah, anxiety is highly possible to be the theme for the next 30 days. And so one good thing to know when practicing breath work, and I learned this from one of my favorite yogis, Afro Yogi, she recognizes that there are 4 parts, or she taught me, there are 4 parts to the breath. The inhale is part 1. You hold at the top is part 2. Exhale is part 3. And hold before you inhale again is part 4. As you are holding your blue lace agate to calm your mind and your nerves, practice the 4-part breath, taking deep inhales, connecting your breath to your body. This is a for sure way to calm your anxiety, calm your need to talk so much. Incense will be good and work for that as well. Really just any kind of breath work. So I really hope that helps. Let's go ahead and pull an oracle card and wrap up this reading. Let me know what you think. Please share with your friends, specifically Gemini friends. Yeah, let me know what you think, you guys. I appreciate everyone. And we got the wolf. The wolf, it says, emphasize a deep connection with your intuition and your instincts. I feel like that is very appropriate for where we are right now. We don't need a lot of info. We don't need a lot of information. We don't need a lot of knowing. We need intuition. We need instinct. We need faith. We need belief. We need to lean into Jupiter. So I hope this helps everybody. I hope to see many of you this Sunday live for Sunday session with the Cosmically LIT Collective. Please let me know what you think about this video. Please share it with friends. And until next time, happy Gemini season. Peace.